consecutive integer problems. So when we talk about consecutive integers, we're talking about numbers that come one right after each other. So consecutive numbers, 3, 4, 5, consecutive letters, A, B, C, consecutive months, January, February, March. So when we're talking about integers, we're talking no fractions, no decimals. We're talking about numbers that are consecutive. And then you may also see things like odd and even. So we may also be talking about consecutive odds, 11, 13, 15. We may be talking about consecutive evens, 20, 22, 24, 26. But we're looking for a set of numbers when we're done. So this problem is asking us for 3 numbers. When we're done, we should have a list of 3 numbers when we're finished. So let's look at an example. Find 3 consecutive odd integers with a sum of negative 51. So the first part of working with a word problem, again, notice this doesn't say write an equation and solve, but that's what I'm asking you to do. Could you guess and check? Probably. However, we're in an algebra class, we're writing equations, so we're practicing writing equations for these. I'm going to start by defining my variables. So I'm going to let x represent my first odd integer, and then it gets tricky. My second odd integer, in this case since we're talking odd, my second odd integer is going to be x plus 2, because if I think about an integer, and if I think about an odd integer and the odd integer after that, I need to add 2 to the first one to get to the second. 5, 7, 9. 5 plus 2 is 7. My third odd integer, if I want to describe it from my first one, I need to add 4. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 4 gives me 9. So I need to be careful about what I'm adding here. If I get stuck on these, sometimes I list out some numbers that don't necessarily fit this negative 51 part, that fit the 3 consecutive odd integers, and kind of work backwards. So I might take 5, 7, and 9 and say 5, 7, 9, I'll call 5x, 7 is x plus 2, 9 is x plus 4, and then forget about the 5, 7, 9 as my starter examples. The equation for this, they want us to take these integers and create them so they have a sum of negative 51. So I'm going to write out an equation. X plus 2 plus x plus 4 equals negative 51. From here, we have our multi-step equation. We're just going to solve for x. So I have 3x plus 6 equals negative 51 when I combine like terms. I'm going to subtract that 6 from both sides. I have 3x equals negative 57. I'm going to divide by 3. Notice the fraction bar, please. X equals negative 19. So this is the value of my first odd integer. I still need to go back and define what my other 2 odd integers are. Don't forget they were odd, and don't forget this is a negative. So negative 19 plus 2 is negative 17, and negative 19 plus 4 is negative 15. These are really straightforward to check. I'm just going to add them together. So my 19 plus my 17 gives me negative 36. My negative 36 plus my negative 15, negative 36, negative 46, plus 5, negative 51.